Hello, welcome to Innovative Health Podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Willisnovich, here with my beautiful co-host, Joe McAllister.
Thank you.
Hi,
So
big
kind.
smile. I didn't even introduce you that.
I know.
I usually say beautiful, so
I
the
guess.
beautiful Joe McAllister. Now, look to our left and right. We have a full panel today. It's really exciting to have Elite Career Solutions here in the Innovative Health Podcast studio. So without further ado, my honor and privilege to introduce Dorian Jackson, founder of Elite Career Solutions. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Thank you for being here today. And then you brought two of your associates, Amir Rutherford.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. And the beautiful, right? Brandy Natel. Hello.
Hello, thank you.
So I'll start with Dorian, but before I do, Brandy kind of runs the show, doesn't she? She kind of is the boss, would you say?
Definitely,
You just do what she says?
pretty much.
He brought me on from the beginning,
Yeah.
so we actually grew together. So
You've been on since day one.
yes,
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Elite Career Solutions.
Okay, well, Elite Career Solutions it actually birthed out of an idea that I had when I was working at my community college. I was a workforce development associate there and the lead job developer. I worked there for like 14 years, and during that time, I had some ideas about some programs that I thought would be beneficial to the community. But for one reason or another, budget or the basic, I guess you can call it like the basic stipulations that were there for some of the funding that we already had through the college, some of those ideas didn't necessarily fit in with what was going on with
With the
workforce
school.
development with
Okay.
the school. So one thing led to another, and we started doing some job development and job placements and programs, and we got connected with Michigan Rehabilitation Services. And now we're a vendor for Michigan Rehabilitation Services, and we provide those services in Ingham County, the Lansing area. We also provide them on campus at Michigan State University through a program we have there. And then we also have the program and do a lot of services in the Flint area as well throughout Genesee County.
What are some of the services you provide?
Okay.
You speak rehabilitation. What are some specific services?
So like some of the specific services is we have a program which is like a transitions program, which is for high school students, and it's kind of like a career exploration program, and it also is a career pathway program. We also do job development and job placement with those students as well. So a lot of these students do have some level of disability. All of them have an IPE with their high school. And many of the students are generally on the spectrum. They have like an autism type disability, and we just help them overcome, whatever their disability may be, those social ills, and then help them find employment and seek employment.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, yes. And Amir, tell us about the Michigan Rehab Service relationships that you have.
For Michigan Rehab, we generally find kids who've had, or adults that have had accidents or any other disabilities that make it hard for them to work. Michigan Rehab Services generally works with like closed head injuries and
Okay.
things like that.
So do you do a lot of work with the auto no fault insurance companies, or I'm sure the services they are provided probably provide some of your services, but what a honor for all three of you kind of to be able to get in there and help these people. How is it for you to be able to help these people out?
Well, that's actually one of the benefits of the job. And when Dorian was recruiting me, he said,
Did he come after you? He knows talent when he sees it,
I was
right?
I was literally out of the Army about 3 weeks.
Oh, thank you for
And
serving. Thank you for your service.
I
Amir,
appreciate your
thank you.
support.
You're a veteran.
And I saw him, we played soccer together, and he threw me his card, and I was like, I can't right now, I'm in school again, but when I get out,
I'm
I'll
your
do it.
guy. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So how long have you been working together?
Well, myself and Brandy, we've been working together for probably
5 years.
Yeah, about 5 years.
Okay.
Amir, we were finally able to pull him on, I would say about 3 weeks ago. So he's
Oh,
actually
wow.
new.
Nice.
Pretty exciting.
You like me.
Yeah, so Amir is going to be doing a lot of work with our Michigan State program, which is the RCPD Michigan Rehabilitation Program, which is funded by the Boscos,
Okay.
the Bosco family, and it's a collaborative with Michigan Rehabilitation Services in the Lansing area, as well as Michigan State University. And we're doing the same exact program that we do with high school students. It's like a transitions program, but for college students. And so we do mock interviews with them, just basically all kind of employability skills and training. And Amir
I
had
love
the
it.
pleasure of going to
Yeah.
a mock interview that we did with a student just a couple of days ago. And that was his first time really getting out to meet a student. It went really well. And we got a text from the student last night that he did get the job offer. so-
Wonderful.
Thing
Do-
is, though,
High five. High
That's
five.
wonderful.
the thing that Dorian leaves out is that before that, he has an efficacy seminar in order to get the kids in the position
He prepares them.
And so this preparation seminar actually got him a job before he got the second interview with another company. So he had multiple opportunities.
So
to
you're
choose.
saying he's kind of humble, he's kind of a big deal, he kind of prepares these,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
these
And it
kids.
was more than just a regular interview. It was a panel interview.
Oh, wow.
And them
Which
can be
is
very
tough.
overwhelming
That's
to
very
these people.
tough.
Especially this young man, after you meet him, you could tell he was on the scale for a little Asperger's. But
gotta be
Somewhere on the
intimidating.
spectrum, sure.
but he came in with the confidence to the second interview where it didn't even affect him.
Well, and you look at those who are on the spectrum, they analytically are brilliant. You know, math and science,
Yes.
usually it's the social side that they really struggle with. So it sounds like, Brandy,
Right.
you guys come in
Yes.
and you kind of tap into that.
What they
it's
excel
it's
in.
very uncomfortable for them. So you teach them how to become comfortable in that.
Yeah, and
in that
each
arena.
one is different. Sometimes we have to change some of the programs that we're doing with them depending on what their needs are. Some lack a lot of communication skills.
Sure.
Some have communication skills, but they don't know how to read
Hone
social
'em.
cues. Yeah,
Yes,
so
sure.
each student is different, and we kind of taper the program around them and for their own individual needs. So sometimes there's things that are added, some things that are taken away. So
It's wonderful. You customize it. Now, do you also do anything with wardrobe? Because years ago, I actually donated clothing to people who needed it for interviews. I know it might sound silly, but do you do that as well?
That's not
It's
silly.
important to look good because you know you want to.
we will go out and purchase
Okay.
clothes for them if they need them. We've purchased not only interview clothes, ties. Dorian has donated suits, ties, shoes.
Yes, I would
a
like
lot
to
of
do
What
that
times.
about just a talk show host? Can you help them get clothes with wardrobe?
Dorian?
We'll style you.
Dorian's
you.
the stylist.
You are on the
Exactly.
spectrum.
You look pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And what about a reentry program? I heard you're doing some sort of reentry program.
Yes, well, we have a reentry program that we've been, actually, that was one of our big programs when we originally started, and that's what actually grew us as a business, was
Okay.
our reentry program, and that's the Respire program, is what we call it in-house. We work with the Michigan Department of Corrections as well as the federal agents too in Genesee County area. They refer
Okay.
people to us. We have a relationship with the Bantam Place in Saginaw, which is a federal halfway house. And then we also just get random referrals also from judges in the area and things like that.
Wow.
So-
It's actually funny because a lot of the programs that we do with the students who are on the spectrum are very similar to a lot of the programs and the needs that, you know, people who have been incarcerated have.
Sure. That's
because
what I
they've
was
just
going
been
to
out of
ask.
employability
Yes.
for so long.
Yeah. So you work with actually a diverse group of people, and they range in ages. What's kind of the youngest you work with to I'm sure.
16 to 60 if they want to
Really?
work.
Employability,
Yeah.
Okay.
basically.
Wow.
And
If
who-
you're employable, you get.
Yeah.
okay, so they have to have kind of that. They have to have that assessment that they can be employed, correct? Before they're referred to you,
Correct.
there has to be that
And
assessment.
there's always a plan in place when they are referred to us on
Excellent.
what type of employment they are looking for. So it's not us just going out here finding a job for them.
They're
it can't
referred
be any
to
job.
you.
They're referred for a specific job, and we have to get them that job.
And then you prepare them, and they usually have case management prior
Yes.
to seeing you, and then
Yes.
you work directly with their case manager.
Yes. Correct.
Very close.
Yeah.
Do they ever have job coaches that go on site with them?
We
if they
are.
need it?
Actually, we're also licensed job
Oh, good.
coaches as well
Yeah.
too. So that's something.
Great.
Yeah, that's a service that we offer as well.
Wonderful.
They're kind of a big deal. They're
Yeah, they
kind
are.
of they're stylists.
The triple
they're
threat.
life
The
coaches,
triple threat.
right?
Yeah.
Right. It's everything. And so you have other offices, correct? You have one in Flint, but where else are you located?
Well, we have one in Detroit, which is currently in the Bamboo Building, which is very similar to like the Ferris Wheel Building in Flint.
Very good.
And the office manager for that, her name is Terry Braddock, And then we have space that we use in the student service office and the student service building on Michigan State's campus,
Okay.
which has been, great to be able to utilize that space to work with students. We also work with students too in Bessie Hall too on Michigan State's campus as well.
So do you personally travel all over to each individual office? You do?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And I'm still very active in like the day-to-day stuff. You know, I find people jobs. I still do classes. I would like to get to the point where I could just send Brandy and Amir everywhere and just sit back in the
And
Ferris
go
wheel.
drink your tiki, drink your margarita, right, at X, at
That's
Dr.
always
Bobby
cool.
Sachs,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yes, I am a member there.
Speak
too.
easy.
So,
I have a
You have a fob?
Yeah, I actually have a fob.
I do too.
I need one.
I don't know if we'll get you one. You can
Yes.
use mine.
Thank you.
You can. I know people. So we'll go to you, Brandy. So you work out of the Flint office, so primarily, correct?
I work out of all of them.
Oh,
Well,
you
not,
do
not
as
so
well.
much Detroit, but I do
Okay.
the Lansing, Owasso, and Flint area, yes.
What is your background?
I studied criminal justice in college. After college, I worked in the Flint schools for 10 years.
Okay.
I worked in the high schools. From there, I seen the need here in the Flint area,
Very much
not only
so.
for the kids, but for the parents and everybody pretty much.
That's right.
So Dorian and I had a conversation about my background one day, and he was like, well, I want to start these classes. Would you like to be a part of it? And I'm like, yeah,
And the rest is
definitely."
history.
Yeah.
How amazing for you two to
Yes.
have the same vision and 5 years,
paths
you
crossed
know,
for a
that's a
reason.
long time. It's a lot of work starting from the granular level and now working into where you are. So kudos to all of you. And now with Amir on the team, it sounds like
Yes.
Yes.
it's going to even be more amazing. How exciting for you, Amir? I mean, it's kind of serendipitous, right? Like you are coming out of the service, you're going to school, you're not expecting it, and along comes Dorian, and now you kind of have this path. How exciting for you.
Dorian has been bothering me for almost 30 years. So
You just can't get rid of them, can you? So that's a wrong question to ask. I'm sorry.
before I was even in the Army, there was Dorian.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Dorian had this vision for a long time, and
Yeah.
But he knew the right pieces
Yeah,
too,
like
and he
came to
knew the
fruition.
right. He knew the right pieces to his puzzle.
Yes.
So he's
Yep.
got the right talent, which is
because
absolutely
it's not
amazing.
for everybody. If you
No.
don't have the passion for it, then
I
it's
will-
not for you.
I will tell you, I grew up with a mom and an aunt who both retired as therapists from community mental health, and that's why I have a master's in business. I could never go into that. They loved working in psychiatric, they loved medicine, they loved all of it. I loved growing up in that environment because they taught me a lot, and it really steered my ship as far as my foundation work and being passionate and that side. But it takes a special personality, seriously, to work with this demographic. So I applaud all
Yes.
three of you.
That's literally the history of my family because Dorian and I know each other through growing up in the community school system. My dad was superintendent for Flint and Beecher.
Yes.
My mom was a teacher, grandma librarian. My other grandma was the first woman on the Detroit school board. So
Wow.
But he knew that you
So,
had kind of
it's in
that,
there.
it's in your genes.
And Dorian's father
yeah,
was
and
in
my-
the Flint
my-
schools.
yeah, my
my
father's
mother
the
was
same
in the
way.
Flint schools. We all kind of
Wow.
came from the Flint.
School-
Everything.
Yeah, so
We
you're
remember.
brought
Paths
up-
were meant to cross.
well,
That's
we
right.
remember when it was actually community school. So it's like
That's right.
everything was community based.
Yes, and
my
that's where
father-
you're taking it back to.
My father was Flint's actually first black male teacher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, period. Yeah.
What-
Yep, and they also
what
named the
school?
Literary Center after him. That's at the Burston Fieldhouse. The
Okay.
Community Literary Center is named
Very
after my
good.
father.
Very
Wow.
good. I have
That is
goosebumps.
great. Yes.
We're among the elite. We're very lucky to have them here.
literally.
No, literally. I mean, it's really exciting. You know, my whole family grew up in Flint too, and I'm a product of Flint Northwestern Wildcat love. So, you know, I'm one of you right here.
I'm sure your
Fist bump,
father's
right?
proud of you.
I took
Your
driver's
father, I'm
training
sure,
there.
is very proud of you.
No, all of your family has to be so proud of the
yes.
work you're doing. And how amazing, too, to wake up every day and go to a job that you're so absolutely passionate about, right?
Big
Exactly.
difference.
Not doing the
It
9
makes
to
it easy
5
to
grind.
get up in the morning. It really does. It's not one of them things that you dread, like, oh, what am I going to go in here and see today? Because it's always different.
Yes.
Even though we're dealing with the same type of people, it's always a different story with them. So,
And I'm sure, too, it's morning, noon, and night, correct?
oh yes, they have our cell phone numbers. Counselors have our numbers.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had some pretty late phone calls, and I
Yes.
answer.
Can you go above and
dedicated.
beyond?
Yeah, I mean, if they have an interview that they just found out about and they need to prepare at 10 o'clock at night, we'll go over the phone.
It's life changing.
interview
so
questions.
Great,
You
yes.
have to be
And
responsible.
that's actually why we've grown the way we've grown because there's a lot of other organizations, like the one that you mentioned earlier, you know, with Work Skills, that they're a little bit larger, and they do a good job as well. But we can actually go in, like Brandy was saying earlier, and customize programs and give that more like almost like a boutique type service. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of counselors that we work with like working with us, because of the attention to detail that we can give with each client.
Well, I do see you, like you said, right now you're kind of at a boutique level, but and at that scale, but I honestly feel you'll be scaling up quite a bit. I mean, right now with your expansion of your offices,
Yeah.
I think it's truly only the beginning for there's such a massive need to the services you provide that, especially with the numbers in autism growing on a daily basis.
And every year we have grown.
That's
from day
exactly
one.
right.
So I see us being quite big and all over the state of Michigan.
So we're lucky we got them now, because I think we'll
Before
be
they're
calling
too
their
big.
publicist. Right. Right. Though when we're in national syndication, they may, we might be able to reach them, but as of right
You'll
now,
have to talk to my agent.
Yeah, I won't be able to text you personally. I might have to go.
I'll
through
have
your
to go
agent.
through your people. That's okay. We're fine with that. But real quickly, and I'll start with you, Brandy. Tell me just a couple things that you're so passionate about with Doreen, working with Doreen, and the people you work with.
Pretty much just making a difference in the Flint community. I mean, I love working down at Michigan State with the Michigan State students, but there's so much of a need here in Flint.
Sure.
And I'm passionate about the people of Flint.
Very cool. Love that. Amir? So far, it's only been 3 weeks, but I think probably it's been impactful, correct?
Well, over my life, because of my affiliation with family and everything, whenever you make a change in someone's life, positive, then you made a difference. Like the kid we were talking about earlier that got not one, but 2 offers from jobs that he really wanted. You could see his life changing from being a poor farmer kid to whatever he wants to do. And I literally told Dorian, I was like, we're going to look up one day and he's going to be on the Presidential Council for Economic Development. And it's going to be like, oh, it's,
There he is.
And when you make a difference in their life, it makes a difference in your
yeah.
life.
yeah.
Definitely.
And finally, to you, the founder of Elite Career Solutions, who had this vision, right? Where do you see the trajectory of your company going? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, in 5 years, we're actually working on a couple of programs right now that we hope will get picked up on a statewide level through Michigan Rehabilitation Services, and even offered by some of the other intermediate school districts in the state. If that works out, then we will be, I guess, kind of a big deal, as you say. And, I definitely think that we'll continue to grow. In 2016, we were Michigan Rehabilitation Services Vendor of the Year, and we won that award in Lansing. And then also in 2017, we were the Flint Chamber of Commerce Minority-Owned Business of the Year. So,
Wow.
I mean, we're starting to get recognition, and people are, noticing who we are. I get asked to speak at a lot of different conferences and things like that for rehabilitation and different type of programs. So, yeah, our name is getting out there, and I definitely see a lot of growth.
That's amazing. And also look for an article on Elite Career Solutions in the upcoming Innovative Health magazine. Truly an honor.
Yes. And
Thank you.
You guys are incredible,
you
and
are
anything
already
we
a big
can
deal.
help you with, we will. And we actually had Jocelyn Hagerman on last week, and her and Phil are the ones, the creator of the Ferris wheel, and it's a I know it's relatively new space for you guys. How's it going in there?
It is great.
It is wonderful.
I love it.
Yeah, it's like the best place ever.
It's absolutely
Just
amazing.
the people in there and the networking and the conversations that you can have. It's just amazing.
It's incredible. We've got a few friends that have space there, and talking to her too, her and Phil are so proud of the work they've been doing and the 100,000 ideas that they
Yes.
have launched, which probably brings a ton of people in the door and a ton of energy. So we're just really uber proud of you. And will you guys come back on the show?
Oh,
Yes.
definitely. Definitely.
Thank you.
Before they get too big, Joe.
Well, I know, but you said you will be a big deal. You're already a big deal. You're just going to be a bigger deal.
That's right.
We won't forget where we came from.
Good.
Don't forget
Still
to
be
little
approachable.
people. Thank you. Big thank you to Brady Natal. Big thank you to Amir Rutherford, and a big thank you to you, founder of Elite Career Solutions, Dorian Jackson, and a big thank you to my cutie pie co-host Joe McAllister. So you have been watching and listening to Innovative Health Podcast.